My name is Mark, and 3 weeks ago Amazon destroyed my life for refusing to ruin someone else's. I was a level 6 manager at Amazon for 7 years. I had a 6-figure salary, stock options, and a corner office in Seattle. But when my boss ordered me to fabricate performance reviews to fire 30% of my team, I said no. 20-4 hours later, I was escorted out by security with a box of my belongings and a legal threat that could bankrupt my family. What I'm about to tell you is why Amazon has an entire legal team trying to silence me right now. But some truths are too important to keep buried. Let me start from the beginning. In 2017, I was recruited directly from Microsoft to join Amazon Web Services as a senior operations manager. The salary was incredible. $185,000 base plus stock options that vested over 4 years. Mostra documentos emails brevemente within 2 years. I was promoted to level 6, that's senior management territory. I managed a team of 47 people across 3 departments: customer success, operations efficiency, and vendor relations. My team wasn't just good, we were exceptional for 3 consecutive years. We exceeded our targets by 23%, 31%, and 28% respectively. We had the lowest turnover rate in the entire Pacific Northwest Division. I thought I was living the American dream. 6-figure salary, corner office overlooking Elliott Bay, stock options that were making me wealthy. My team respected me, my bosses praised me, and I genuinely believed Amazon was the future. But in March 2024, everything changed with a single email. The email came from my direct supervisor, Jonna Morrison, VP of Operations. Subject line: Cue to performance calibration, urgent. I opened it thinking it was routine quarterly planning. Instead, I found a 47-page document titled Workforce Optimization Protocol. It outlined something called the Stack Ranking Redistribution System, SRR for short. Here's how it worked. Every quarter, each department had to identify their bottom 30% of employees and create documentation justifying their termination. Not because they were performing poorly, but because Amazon needed to maintain what they called competitive workforce pressure. The document was explicit. Performance ratings should be adjusted retroactively to support termination decisions. Focus on employees with higher salary costs or those approaching stock option vesting periods. Let me repeat that. They wanted us to change performance reviews after. They were written to justify firing people whose only crime was earning their promised compensation. I stared at this document for 2 hours. These weren't abstract numbers. These were real people. Sarah, who just had her second baby and was our top customer satisfaction specialist. Miguel, who was 3 months away from his stock options vesting after 4 years of 60-hour weeks. The algorithm was cold and calculating. Identify employees within 6 months of major stock vesting. Anyone over $95,000 salary or anyone who has submitted HR complaints in the past 18 months. It wasn't about performance. It was about profit margins. The next morning, Jonna called me into her office. She had the list ready minus 14 names from my team marked for optimization. Each name had a fabricated reason, failing to meet productivity standards, poor collaborative attitude, inconsistent performance metrics. I knew every single one of these people personally. I had written their actual performance reviews just 6 weeks earlier. Most of them were rated exceeds expectations or outstanding. Mark, Jonna said, sliding the paperwork across her glass desk. I need these performance adjustments completed by Friday. HR will handle the termination meetings next week. I looked at the first name, David Chen. 5 years with Amazon, never missed a deadline, mentored 3 junior employees, and was planning to propose to his girlfriend with money from his upcoming stock vesting. His adjusted review claimed he had consistently missed deadlines and shown poor leadership potential It was completely fabricated. I can't do this. I told her. These reviews are lies. David's team loves him. His productivity metrics are in the top 15% company-wide. Jeanette's expression didn't change. Mark, this isn't a discussion. This is how we maintain our competitive edge. Every major tech company does workforce optimization. We're just more systematic about it. Systematic? You mean fraudulent. I mean profitable. Your stock options are worth $340,000 right now. Your base salary puts you in the top 5% of American earners. Don't let misplaced sentiment destroy what you've built here. I left her office without signing anything. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about my team, people who trusted me, who worked weekends because they believed in what we were building together. How could I look them in the eye knowing I was preparing their execution? Friday came, and I still hadn't submitted the falsified reviews. At 9 a.m., Jana stormed into my office. Mark, where are the performance adjustments? HR is waiting. I'm not doing it. Jana, I won't destroy good people's careers based on fabricated documentation. Her face went red. You're making a career-limiting decision here. Amazon has zero tolerance for managers who can't make tough calls. Tough calls. You're asking me to commit fraud. These aren't performance issues. These are cost-cutting measures disguised as merit-based decisions. She closed my office door and sat down. What she said next still gives me chills. Mark, let me explain something about corporate reality. Amazon's stock price depends on quarterly growth projections. Wall Street expects us to increase profit margins by 12% this year. The easiest way to do that is workforce optimization. Every employee we terminate saves an average of $127,000 annually in salary and benefits. Multiply that by the 8,400 employees we're optimizing nationally, and we're talking about over $1 billion in cost savings. Do you think Jeff Bezos became the world's richest man by being sentimental about employee feelings? Do you think your stock options grew 340% by accident? This system works, Mark. It works because people like you implement it without asking uncomfortable questions. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Jana, these are human beings. David has a mortgage. Sarah just had a baby. Miguel is supporting his elderly parents, and Amazon has shareholders. Shareholders who expect results. Your job is to deliver those results, not to play therapist. To your subordinates, I stood up and looked her in the eye. Then find someone else to do your dirty work. I won't fabricate performance reviews. I won't destroy innocent people's lives, and I won't be part of this fraud. She smiled, not a pleasant smile, but the kind predators make before they attack. Interesting choice, Mark. I hope you've saved money, because your Amazon career just ended. Monday morning, I arrived at the office to find my keycard deactivated. Security met me at the elevator. Mr. Stevens, please come with us. They escorted me to HR, where 3 people I'd never seen before sat behind a conference table, with legal documents spread out like a war room. Mark, we're terminating your employment effective immediately for insubordination and failure to complete assigned duties, said the lead HR representative, a woman who looked like she terminated people for breakfast. You have 2 choices. Sign this separation agreement with a non-disclosure clause and receive 6 months severance pay, or refuse to sign and face potential legal action for breach of fiduciary duty. The NDA was 23 pages of legal language that essentially said I could never speak about Amazon's internal practices ever to anyone for any reason. Violating it would result in a lawsuit that could cost me everything I owned. What if I refuse both options? I asked. Then we'll contest your unemployment benefits, report performance issues to future employers who call for references, and pursue legal action for any proprietary information you may have retained. They gave me 30 minutes to decide. I sat in a windowless conference room, staring at documents that would either buy my silence or destroy my future. But then I thought about David, Sarah, Miguel, and the other 11 people whose lives would be ruined by fabricated performance reviews. I thought about the 8,400 employees nationwide facing the same fate. I pushed the papers back across the table unsigned. I'll take my chances. Security walked me to my office, watched me pack my personal belongings into a cardboard box, and escorted me out the building. 7 years of my life reduced to a box of coffee mugs and family photos. As I walked to my car, my phone buzzed with a text from my former colleague. Dude, what happened? They just announced David, Sarah, and 12 others are being terminated for performance issues. They did it anyway. Even without my falsified reviews, they found other managers willing to play along. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, Amazon's legal team has sent me for cease and desist letters. They threatened to sue me for defamation, breach of confidentiality, and corporate espionage. But here's what they can't silence: the truth. Amazon's stack ranking redistribution system isn't unique to my division. It's company-wide policy. Right now, thousands of Amazon employees are being targeted for termination, not because of poor performance, but because of profit margins. The most heartbreaking part, many of these people will never know the real reason they were fired. They'll blame themselves, question their abilities, and carry that psychological damage into future jobs. Meanwhile, Amazon will record quarterly profits, stock prices will rise, and executives will receive bonuses for operational efficiency. I'm sharing this story because someone needs to. Because corporate fraud shouldn't hide behind NDA letters and legal threats. Because the 47 people who trusted me deserved a manager willing to protect them, even when it cost everything. If you work for a major corporation, document everything. Save your performance reviews, keep records of your achievements, and never assume that loyalty will be reciprocated. And if you're a manager facing similar pressure, remember that some lines shouldn't be crossed. Regardless of the consequences. Amazon destroyed my career, but they couldn't destroy my integrity. That's something no corporation can take away. The question is, what will you do with this information? Will you share it with someone who needs to hear it? Will you be more aware of the systems operating around you? Or will you do what Amazon hopes you'll do? Forget this story and continue believing that corporations have your best interest at heart. The choice is yours. Just remember, the next time you hear about mass layoffs or performance-based terminations, you'll know what might really be happening behind closed doors. Thanks for listening. And if you work at Amazon, watch your back. Mark's story represents experiences reported by multiple former Amazon employees. Amazon declined to comment on specific allegations. If you've experienced similar corporate practices, consider consulting with an employment attorney. Subscribe for more corporate confession stories, because some truths are too important to stay buried.